Hello and welcome to the Leo season forecast for 2026. This forecast is going to encompass Leo season, which begins on the 22nd of July and goes until the 22nd of August. I am offering this forecast in the style of a reverse reading, which means I have some key cards out that associate with Leo, like the sun, Leo itself, and the fifth house. And then I'll be pulling cards on each of these energetics. So we're starting the reading with the energy already present, and then we're going to peel back layers and go deeper. In terms of how this energy can show up for us over the weeks of Leo season, how is the solar, the planetary, even though it's a star, the planetary energy of the sun asking us to show up and embody, engage, shed, or release Leo energy. Same with Leo itself. What is Leo in our chart astrologically, or Leo in our lives energetically, asking of us to engage with, to display, to communicate? And the same with the fifth house. What is happening in our fifth house? What is happening in the house of our lives where Leo lives? And so it could be beneficial to have your chart available as you're reading, listening to the reading, or taking notes, or take notes and then overlay it with your chart. You don't have to do any of that. Excuse me. You also don't have to do any of that. I'm going to be pulling more cards using a couple different oracle card decks that I have to paint the picture for us of the season ahead. So let's just read from the book and dive into some tarot correspondence, starting with the sun itself. And this deck is the Arcana of Astrology by Claire Goodchild. So let's just look at the sun. Okay, so the sun, the key word up top is the ego, rules Leo. It corresponds with the fifth house, the element of fire. Symbols of the sun are sunflowers, candles, gold, amber, and lions. And then more keywords: ego, pleasure, joy, confidence, purpose, vibrance, strength, and positivity. So next, let's look at Leo itself as a zodiac sign. Okay, main keyword, the lion. July 22nd to August 22nd. Planetary ruler of the sun. House 5th, element of fire. Fixed modality. The opposite sign of Leo is Aquarius. Symbols, yellow flowers, cats, flames, peacock, citrine, and amber. More keywords: pride, ego, recognition, creativity, confidence, determination, and leadership. And then finally, we have the fifth house. So let's see. Keywords: the realm of pleasure. Ruler Leo, zodiac ruler Leo, planetary ruler the sun, element fire, house type creative. More keywords: joy, pleasure, fun, games, and creativity. So also, I correspond the fifth house in terms of how we develop as a human in this life after birth as like childhood. Not early childhood, like toddler, but later childhood, definitely preteen. That area of our life, our history, our living ethos. I look at the chart and I read and divine its story as far as how we are carrying um, the legacy that was left with us through childhood. So that may be something that may or may not come up in the reading. So now that we have our main cards out, I'm going to pull cards and get into the reading. So I'm going to be using this deck, When Olga Speaks by Sasha Lopez. Love, love, love. I will put her information below. You can check her out on Instagram. And then I'm also going to be using the Wild Unknown Archetypes Oracle, my favorite. So what do we want to start with? I think I want to start with the archetypes. Okay. So we're going to be pulling on the Sun card first. Make some space for myself here. I don't know if anybody else owns this deck. I actually had the pocket version before I got this larger version. And what's greatly helped me shuffle it is I split it in two first. And I shuffle each half on its own before I shuffled the whole deck. And game changer. Like, I mean, just feast your eyes. And if you have this deck, you already know this is revolutionary right here. So you're welcome. I think these types of like tips and tricks are so needed and helpful. And I, among many things, but I am not a gatekeeper. I will tell it all as far as tips and tricks on how to leverage our divination work as psychic practitioners. And then once I feel really good about that, then I bring the whole mamma jamma together, which if you have the deck, you know that it's kind of challenging. But once you get those two halves kind of prepped, it's like, I don't know, energetically, it feels really good. It just feels like the deck can shuffle and wants to shuffle better. So thank you for humoring my little interlude. Okay, so I'm going to pull a card for the Sun, Leo, and the fifth house, and then I'll start reading. So we'll start with the Sun. How is the Sun asking to work with us for Leo season? Okay, that one's real bouncy, so we'll take that. Leo, how is Leo itself asking to work with us during Leo season? That's the one. And the fifth house. What is the fifth house illuminating, bringing forward, asking to be seen? I can already tell that I like this reading style better. If you have watched or listened to my previous season forecast, which I recommend you going back to look at, Gemini and Cancer season, I did a different template using tarot, the major and the minor arcana, and this already just feels so good. So, okay. 1, 2, there we go. All right. All right, we got 2 cards for the fifth house. So starting with the Sun card, let's see what we got. So for the Sun, we have the Mask. It's so interesting. So for my Patreon members that are here, continuing to support my work, thank you. But this card also came up on Patreon in the energy forecast for last week. And it's coming up here in terms of Leo season in relationship with the Sun, because it's asking for us to take the mask off. Like the Sun is literally a star, this ball of fire that is asking us to leverage that heat, leverage the fire to burn away the false identities, to burn away like the physical posturing that has kept us hidden. For some people, maybe that like being hidden, that posturing has like had you supported in feeling safe. And for some people, it's actually never been about safety. It's been about comfort. Like for whatever reason, you're just more comfortable without having people's eyes on you in your business, or just witnessing your process, witnessing your work. Um, Leo season is time to show the people. One of the key words that really stood out with me was honesty, and I believe it was in reference to either the sun or in reference to Leo itself, but just this honest energy. I feel like the sun is asking us to get honest with ourselves. For some people, this mask, you're going to know immediately, like, oh, yeah, in certain situations, in certain areas of my life, in my life as a whole, yeah, I've been wearing a mask. I've been concealing myself. I have been skewing how people can see me, can view me. For other people, this mask, it feels like it's a little bit sneaky. There are subtle ways that you have been masking symptoms of like how you really feel. Whether that is like joy, excitement, or grief or pain. I'm hearing masking symptoms now, like really, really clearly. And this feels like it could have to do with someone's health. Like you have I'm hearing autoimmune, but it doesn't have to be autoimmune. It could be anything having to do with your health, and you, for whatever reason, have been more comfortable in your life or an area in your life, maybe since childhood. You've just been more comfortable masking the symptoms because you don't want the attention, you don't want the focus, you don't want people to see or witness you in that way. And I don't necessarily get that that comes down to vulnerability. I don't think for most people this comes down to like you being uncomfortable with vulnerability. I think it's just um, undesired like disclosure. Like you just don't want people in your business in that way. You're not trying to have people like that aware and intimate with what's going on in your life potentially. But across the board, the sun is asking us all to unmask and live out loud in like technicolor. I think this message is really beautiful coming out in July and taking us into August, because this also feels like an extension of pride. Like I have such a love-hate relationship with like these major months of significance. One, like February, Black History Month. I love the recognition. I love that it is something that is recognized more and more and more. I hate it because it's like 1 month. It's like I know that we're all doing the best we can as humans and da 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 da, but also like really like we have come so far in our existence as people, as a society, that we have to delineate a whole month to pay fucking attention to these type of things. Which brings me to the next thing, the more prevalent thing to this message, which is Pride Month, which is June. Um, we have succinct a whole recognition of I want to say a body of work, a body of people, a collective of people, LGBTQIA plus people that have a month. It almost brings tears to my eyes to just like have this permission to live out loud and scream their identity and their expression and their experience from the mountaintops. And then July 1st, zip, we zip it up. And this is mainly like corporate, right? Like this is what we see. Same with Black History Month, same with Pride Month, even though different, they are different in their obvious reasons. The issue is the same. The issue is we are compartmentalizing ourselves. Society has always done this. And in some way, it is being infused into how we are living and moving, to compartmentalize ourselves. And to me, Leo is saying, fuck that shit. Leo, mask off, is saying we are not compartmentalizing and delineating our lives. It's all one. It's like, you want me, you get all of me. All 12 months of the year. You get the Black, you get the LGBTQIA plus 24/7, 365. And this is a big invitation. This is a big, like, reckoning for us on an individual level, because I feel that there are ways, like unconscious and subconscious and maybe even generational ways, that we do this, that we were taught to do this. Like, we didn't just wake up one day as a people and started compartmentalizing ourselves. Like, it's been seeded and colonized into us. And this energy is decolonization. It is removing the borders. It is removing the constraints. It is removing the structure so that it's clean and delineated and palatable, and it's getting unpalatable. It is coloring outside of the lines. And this is liberation. The mask coming off in terms of us as individuals and our identity and our personality and our characteristics and our cultural background and our race and our ethnicity, our sexual preferences. It is all this greater mirror of the greater, like, macrocosm of our world and our society globally, what's going on. And this mask off in our individual life, in a sense, is a huge ripple for the greater masking, unmasking, and reckoning and release and reclamation that is coming. And this is starting, this is initiating in Leo season. So I kind of want to stay with this energy. So I'm going to pull another card from when Olga speaks and go deeper. And then we're going to move into the other segments. Oliver, leave that squirrel alone. Just let it go get some water and do its business. Just mind yours. Okay. What else do we need to know about the sun as it pertains to the mask and Leo season? All right. Y'all seen it. That one shot out. Hope. Oh, this reading might make me cry today on camera. Oh, can we just take a moment? Can we just close our eyes and breathe in hope? Breathe it in the nose, into the belly. Ooh, breathe it into the belly. What does that feel like? What does it smell like? What does it feel like? What does it taste like? What does it sound like? Because this is what we are conjuring by removing our masks, by prioritizing honesty, by prioritizing our confidence, by prioritizing our unique individual expression. Like, you don't get more individual and unique than the sun. It's literally what we radiate outward into the world. And what I think is really important about this sun energy, even though we're talking about Leo season, you don't have to be a Leo sun for this to apply. That should be obvious, but you don't need to be a Leo sun for this to apply. Whatever your sun sign is, whatever your solar expression is. Me, myself, my solar expression is Virgo. Even though I think my Aries moon is a bit more pronounced. My solar expression is through Virgo, but in my own Virgo way, I am being asked to unmask and to live out loud and instill hope for myself and for the future. The future that directly impacts me, my life, my work, my practice, my community, family, friends, but also societally and globally, politically, sustainably. It's so important for us to engage with this self-reflection and contemplation about how are we masking? What are we keeping behind the mask? Why? What is it we are trying to keep under wraps? What is it we don't want to radiate, that we don't want people to witness us radiating? Because when we begin to engage and reflect with these questions, when we can get to the why, so that we can release the mask, we can release the story, we can release the inception point, we can then begin to make space for hope. By continuing to keep this mask on, we are limiting ourselves from experiencing hope and also seeding and expanding hope in our lives. And what's the opposite of hope? Fear, being shut down. I'm also hearing like separation from faith, feeling like lost at sea in terms of your beliefs spiritually or religiously. For some people, you've spent what I'm hearing is a legacy. You've lived and experienced a legacy in your life where you have not had hope. You lost hope, and it is coming back online in our lives in Leo season. I just keep hearing live out loud, live out loud. Yeah. Okay. I don't even know how I'm going to timestamp this. We'll say that was the sun, and then the next will be Leo. So we're going to go into Leo energy now. So, Leo, beautiful Leo. Oh my gosh, this reading, I cannot even take it. We have Leo and the gym. Oh, baby. I mean, I could just end the reading right here. You are the gym. What Leo is asking of us, especially in your chart, okay? So do a little homework. Don't be lazy. Do a little homework. Where is Leo in your chart? Is it in your sun? Is it in your Mercury? Is it in Venus? What house is it in? What is Leo doing in your chart? It's doing something, okay? Based on how we started and like from here forward in the reading where we're going, it's kicking up dust. It is creating a little bit of a ruckus. Okay, Leo did not come in to sit down quiet in the corner and be demure. Okay, that's for us Virgos later, later August into September. September. This is not the time to be cutesy and demure. This is time to get real cute. Put on the good perfume. Put on the vibrant colors and get noticed. Okay, shimmering, glistening, dancing. Um, where is Leo in your chart and what is it doing? It is asking you to fuck some shit up. Now, what do I mean by that? Shake things up. Get uncomfortable. Catch the eyes, the looks of people. Maybe even people that you want to notice you, or maybe just anybody. Everybody can get it. Look at me. You see it, you like it. That's the vibe. The gym is going to grab your attention. Even if you're not into gyms, by nature of its mineral composition and how light hits it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, it is going to get attention. And then there's something about attention and value. So I am not in any way saying that the attention that you get, or a gym, for example, equates to its value. It's not always synonymous. Um, this is just focused on, we are just focused on the beauty, um, the uniqueness, the weirdness, the intricacy, the vibrancy that draws our attention, that the attention that we seek or that is drawing our attention. This has nothing to do with value, like literal or inherent otherwise, just so that we're clear. So what do I mean by fucking shit up? Shaking yourself free. And I mean, I'm getting more of the mask energy of like exposing, like there's these gems that you have, like I'm seeing like in a closet, in a box. This could be how you dress. This could be gems in terms of like your personality. There are personality traits that you have, that you embody, that are gems that you are not showing and sharing. And it's like, if you don't get that gem out and polish it up and put that thing on and let people see it, and let people be like, wow, beautiful, and be like, thanks. Don't be like, oh, this whole thing, this whole thing. Yeah. Even if it's you, oh, this whole thing. Yes, you. Um, this feels like breaking patterns, breaking constructs. Um, I am getting a little bit of worth and value now, but it's kind of like a separate message. And this feels tied to childhood. About like the narrative that I'm hearing, the story that I'm hearing, that maybe like parents or guardians or family members or friends or community, wherever you, whoever and whatever you were surrounded with, how you were raised, it's almost like don't ask for attention. This feels, and this is not meant to be derogatory, but it feels very Christian. I was raised Baptist Christian. Um, but it feels almost like virginal, of like, you only get this one body and this virginity. Keep it sacred, keep it tucked away. Don't let anyone see it. Don't talk about it. I feel shame. I feel guilt. Um, and I feel like that has been carried with you in your life. And Leo season is really coming in to fuck some shit up, to like shake you, that is not your current truth. That is not your current truth. That you have aspects about yourself. This doesn't even have to be about like your body or your sexuality. You could still be a virgin. Um, you may be celibate and reclaiming your sexuality and your sexual expression and your sensuality and your sensual expression in different ways. This is about separating your worth and your value from sex and your body. That you can live comfortably and express yourself through your body. There's almost no way for us to live in this way as humans and it not be about our body. It's meant to be about our body. That's why we incarnated in this way. That's why we are living with this flesh and bones in this way. And so this message is about like reclaiming that right. You incarnated in this body as a soul at this time to have this human body experience. Baby, live in it. Do it. For some reason, you have not been doing it. And you're going to know those reasons. And that is what's important to contemplate and reflect on, because there are the reasons why you incarnated are the gems. And the gems have been buried and hidden within you. And maybe someone in your life or people told you that you should hide those gems. And that's caused this huge discrepancy in your life and in your experience, because you were born with this gem that in your soul you knew you came to shine it and show it and talk about it and show people and have people show you their gems. But you were raised of like, no, 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 that is bad. You will be worthless. You will not have a value if you show that gem. If you talk about that gem, if you let people know that the gem exists, not good. And so there is this huge reclamation happening. Leo is coming to fuck shit up, to shake things up, to help us let our hair down, help us shave our hair off, um, help us adorn ourselves and dress and move in our bodies in a way that is sovereign and fully ours. There's a lot coming up about the body, and I'm trying to decide. and discern if I need to get into all that right now. So as I decide, I'm gonna pull another card. I just cannot get my butt. There we go. I think that's gonna comfortable. Ugh. Well, I do my best not to flash camera. Okay, let me see. We're gonna pull another card to expand on this, and let me just feel into how down the rabbit hole we shall go. Okay, we got one come out, and I wasn't really paying attention, so I'm just gonna set that aside. Let me pay attention now. It's so funny, this gem card in Leo. It's feeling like buried treasure. Like you are discovering this. It's like during Cancer season, like the watery cardinal waters of Cancer. You're out in your ship and the water is journeying, and you dropped anchor and you went down and you found this chest of buried treasure. And this is all within you, by the way. This is all metaphors. This is just an analogy of you and your own body and your life traversing waters, dropping anchor, rediscovering this buried treasure. And now here we are coming up into Leo season, and you've opened this chest, and you are finding these gems that have been within you all along, that you remember that you came into this life with. Whew. And now it's the treasure, these gems inside of you are looking at you. They're looking at you and like, so what are we gonna do? Like, I'm not at the bottom of that water anymore. I'm not in that trunk anymore. You see me. What are you gonna do? Because it's not an option to go back into the chest. What I just heard, back into the closet. It's not an option. For some people, there was something really big that came out in your life that you shared or that came out in June and July. And it is the message for you clearly is that onward, July, August, onward for years to come, you are not meant to go back in into an enclosure of any kind. Like, we're done with that. So let it be done. This is about living in full technicolor. Like, we have all of this beautiful rainbow color and expression here, and we have it here with the gem as well. Not a coincidence. Okay, so I'm just going to keep the one card that jumped out because nothing else has come. And we have the Ally. And I was asking, am I supposed to be going deeper into the body right now, like in conversation with y'all about the body, what's coming up? Yes, your body is your ally. And so what I was getting was like sexual abuse, sexual trauma. For some people, it's not sexual, it's like injury, like you sustained injuries at some point in your life. It doesn't even have to be like genital or reproductive area. It could be like anywhere in your body you sustained an injury at some point, and it has affect you feeling allied in your body. And I feel it so strong, like the polarity of like the actual physical injury happening and then the emotional injury as a result. So they're paired, they're together. But I feel them like this, like the incident, the timing, the bone break, the muscle tear, the scar, the wound being created, and then the scar that it left, and then also like out here floating is the emotional pain and the emotional wound. Like what I'm hearing is like my life is never going to be the same again. You know, my life is going to look completely different. What is my life going to look like after this? And we are being asked first and foremost to do this, to bring it together. That's the ally. How can you ally yourself with your body? How can you, yes, it's going to be uncomfortable. How can you bring that emotional pain, the psychological, the spiritual pain into wholeness with the physical injury as well? Because that's where the wholeness and the true deep layer of healing can happen. Like things can knit back together. For some people, you have been experiencing a pain physiologically or emotionally, energetically, spiritually, mentally, as a result of this physical injury that you sustained. You've been experiencing pain for years and years and years, and it could be because of there's not this paired wholeness of the emotional piece, and vice versa. For some people, like there was a physical injury that happened, and for all you know, you're like, oh, I healed up great, body's good, minimal scarring, but there was so much emotional and mental and spiritual pain I needed to process, that it's almost like you're being redirected to bring everything to wholeness because there is something that you're missing physically with the body, with the wound. So you're going to know where you fall on that spectrum. But the allyship, so that you can live um, in technicolor, in full technicolor, live out loud, and have these gems be displayed, these gems that you've discovered about yourself that are radiating, to have them feel safe out in the world is to bring everything into wholeness, bring the emotional with the physical together and allow them to mesh. There's a tiny little bit of message here with the ally, that I feel like there are people in your life that can support you with this. For some people, you are finding them. And this could be professionals, this could be friends, this could be family members, this could be colleagues. It's like you are so supported. You have allies. Um, I feel like most people hearing that the message is for, you know this. And it's like lean into them. For the very, very, very few people who are going to be seeing this, who are like, I don't know if that's really true. I just feel alone. Um, they are coming in Leo season. Like you will have your allies show up. It will be unavoidable to recognize the presence of allies, and they're just going to help enforce um, the the wholeness. They're going to help support you with the wholeness. And there's something about these allies that I feel like they're in the fight with you. So maybe that they even have like, it's a little muddy. I'm hearing my ancestors and my guides are like, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. So it's like a very strong maybe, but maybe these people even have like some kind of similar wound. They have similar gems that they are navigating, displaying, and embodying and bringing home. And so that is supporting the allyship potentially. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to go into our final segment here with the fifth house. Let me just do a timestamp. So we have fifth house, and this, I did see this card, the mirror and the offering. So I feel like the first two pieces were very similar. Like the mask and the gym, and even the messages having to do with the sun energy and Leo energy. Um, this is related, of course, but it feels like we're going to segue off. Um, this is really specifically talking about the area of your life where you, like in the area in your life of how you play, how you're creative, how you date yourself, how you date other people. Um, I would even go as far as saying like your sensuality, your sexuality, your passion, joy, and your courage, your confidence. So we're really specifically looking at like how is that displayed in your life? How do you move in accordance with all that in your life? And we're getting the mirror and the offering. For some people, you are being invited, and it's just going to be happening potentially in your life in Leo season, that the people that you are working with, clients, people you're dating, someone you're in relationship with, your family, friends, community, um, they're going to be mirroring back to you ways that you are not doing all of those things. You're not courageous, you're not confident, you're not creative, you're not embodying your sensuality, your sexuality, your like your everything I said, the ways you're not doing it or the ways that you are. So this is deep medicine. For some people, you are being asked to look at like your own reflection first. Have you looked at your own self in the mirror? And then once you do, you're going to start to be invited into that dynamic, that archetypal reflection, reflective work with people in your life. And then the offering. There's something here, this is almost feels a little bit separate. That's like one message. The offering is about like what are you offering yourself in terms of opportunity to date, to be creative, to explore your sexuality, your sensuality, your passion, your pleasure, your confidence, your creativity. What are you doing? How are you offering that yourself? And an offering is something that is sacred. It's not just something that you give like complacently, just like meh, meh, meh. An offering is like it's reverent. When you when you decide that something is going to be an offering, you are energetically elevating, expanding, and changing the energetic vibration of whatever that is. Food, mineral, plant, tobacco, smoke, breath, dance, whatever it is you are offering, you are elevating it. You are making it sacred. And it's time to bring some of that back as it pertains to your sexuality, your sensuality, your creativity, your pleasure, your passion, your confidence, your joy, your play, your dating. It's become complacent for some people. And I feel like this isn't just to the people who are in like long-term relationships, that like this stigma or stereotype, I should say, of like, oh, well, you've been together for so long, things just get dry, drab, blah, 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 blah. No, this is for single people too. This is like, how have you become complacent in your joy, your pleasure, your creativity, your play? What are you offering up and making sacred to yourself, first and foremost, as just a way of being, as a way of life in the little moments of the day to day, of each week, of each month? And then for other people, there is something about like, what are you offering someone else? I think this has to do with like community, but also in dating. Like, kind of what I'm hearing is like bringing like the sacred offering of your joy, your creativity, your play, your sensuality, your passion, your pleasure, like bring it back in terms of how you're offering things to people. You'll know how this applies, especially if you feel like this applies to you occupationally, or in terms of like community. It's like there's something that you've become complacent in how you are serving others, how you're offering things to others, that it's asking for your attention and like a refresh, a reframe. Let's pull another card. It's funny. I feel like the first two energetics, like the Sun card and Leo energy, was like really, really, really clear. This one feels a little bit tricky. I don't know why. It feels like I really got to work with this energy to get it going. So that could be a part of your experience, in terms of like this fifth house energy and these messages as far as how this can show up for you in Leo season in the coming week. So we're gonna get a card from When Olga Speaks. Let me have some tea first. Yeah, it's so interesting. I keep hearing sacred. I'm hearing simplicity, and I'm also hearing sacred in terms of these two. I mean, mirror work. This is so lit. This is so Leo. Sitting in front of a mirror. Like, I get both. I get like spending time sitting in front of a mirror, um, and just staring in your own eyes, singing in front of a mirror, creating in front of a mirror, like oiling your body in front of a mirror, getting dressed in front of a mirror, just spending more time in front of a mirror. You know if this applies. Um, and I feel like this has been calling to you in some way. Like, this has been calling to you. You're going to hear this, you're going to be like, oh, yeah, okay. If you have a special mirror for this, bust out a mirror. You know what I mean? Um, but I also get like mirror work with a person. Like, you could be sitting with someone like this and just mirroring back, like movement. Like, you like are sitting with someone and you're just going to be mirroring movements, mirroring words of like, I love you. I love you. You're doing amazing. You're doing amazing. You're vibrant. You're vibrant. Or just like movement of like, you're just like following what each other is doing with your hands and your body posturing, um, is being highly suggested and is very, very medicinal. And then as far as the offering in the fifth house, it's just like simple sacred moments, infusing more simple sacred moments. Um, these simple sacred moments are just already happening in your life, and to like recognize them as that, like, this is all going to be coming up during Leo season. And like very, very simple, like making your coffee in the morning, fluffing your pillows after you get out of bed, fluffing the blanket, misting the bed, brushing your teeth, slipping on your shoes, your house shoes, taking out the trash. Um, it's going to become more prevalent. And I love this because I personally don't ever think about that when I think of Leo. Like, I'm not thinking of the sacredness and the offerings in terms of how Leo moves. Of course, it's present and prevalent, but that's not what I think of. And like, Leo's like, hey, fifth house is like, hey, I got some sacred ass simple shit too. It's not just left for like the Piscean, the Virgo, the Libra. So the Venusians, Taurus, and Libra. Okay, let's see what Olga has to say, and then we're gonna close this reading out. Okay, I want both of these. Interesting. So the first card I saw is recharge. Recharge, rest. And then the second card is negotiation. There is a lot going on with the fifth house. I am so nosy. Y'all, please tell me in the comments what is happening in your fifth house. I'm going to go look at my fifth house and be like, what's up? What's up, fifth house? Because we have recharge, we have negotiation, we have mirror, and we have the offering. Like, it's popping off in the fifth house. So let's see. Let's get the message. Let's get the message and then let's close out here. So first and foremost, we talked about the simplicity and the sacredness. And it's going to become very apparent for us in Leo season how we've been negotiating how simple the sacredness can be and the offerings and just the reflection time, like the sitting and gazing, looking at our own eyes and our own deliciousness in the mirror. And also like letting other people witness us in that. Like witness us in that. You like it's coming to the end. The negotiation is coming to an end. The recharge is kind of like a wild card to me because it does not match any of this other energy. So I think it's just like a message that needs to be shared about recharging. I mean, this feels like a good old nap to me. Cat nap. Leo's associated with like lion and cat. Um, but restore is also coming to mind. Like I feel like as a statement, this last segment of cards is like the end to negotiating how you recharge by way of simple sacred moments that may or may not include like the mirroring and the reflection work. I just keep hearing stop negotiating, stop negotiating, stop negotiating, stop negotiating your rest, how you recharge. And it's what's interesting with that is like you know the ways that really recharge you. Stop negotiating how often and when you take those recharges. It's like I don't really feel like this negotiation has to do with anyone outside of ourselves. I feel like it's ourselves. Like we are negotiating with ourselves of like, oh well, like once I get done with this and that, then I can rest and recharge. Or like, oh well, you want to rest, you want to recharge. Well, you don't get to. You need to. We need to negotiate. Like this needs to get done. Like it is done. That is done. That is so like 2025. We are not a negotiating. Be done with it. Put it down. Lay down the negotiations and fucking recharge. What's funny with that message is like there wouldn't be anything to negotiate if you just recharged. Everything's going to get done. The aspirations, the goals, whatever it is that you want to embody and do and succeed at, there's nothing to negotiate if you're recharged. So to me, this is like I'm so curious of how this is going to show up for everyone individually in terms of their fifth house. But it's like there have been barriers for you to recharge yourself. The barriers are in place and you've been negotiating as to why these barriers should stay there. It's a barrier. It's not meant to be there. We don't need a dam. Like you've been damming yourself up when you would feel so much more refreshed if you had more space to flow. Yeah, that feels good. This is just a very curious, like I could just, I could just go, ramble, ramble, ramble. But I'm not going to do that. This feels good. This feels complete. I trust, I know that the messages that needed to come through here have come through. And I know that what resonates is going to resonate. So thank you so much for being here. I really, really enjoyed this format, using these oracle cards, the arcana of astrology. So I'm going to continue the zodiac season forecast in this way. And if you enjoyed this, go back and check out the Gemini and the Cancer readings. I know that there will probably be something in there for you too. If you really enjoy my reading style, I would love to have you for a personalized reading, where we would meet virtually over Zoom. The link is in the caption and the description for that. And yeah, if this resonated and you enjoyed it, also please share it with a friend, a family member. It really helps my work for people to know me, and I would love to tend to them. So thank you for being here, and I'm sending you so much